Hello everyone and welcome back to Carvenus 14. Now today we are going to be talking about Chapter 1 in Genshin Impact. Well, specifically, if you didn't watch the last video, I suggest you watch it because I go more in depth about what the situation of this playthrough currently is. So yeah, I would definitely check that video out before watching this one because that definitely explains the video a lot more. Now, but yeah, in this video, what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about, well, technically part 2 of my playthrough on Genshin Impact. So, yeah. Now, in the last video, we talked about the Mondstadt Archon quest. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Liyue Archon quest. So, it starts off like this. Before we do start, I would like to say a small disclaimer. What is it? Announce a disclaimer, if that's even the right word. So this video is going to have spoilers. So if you have not completed the Liyue Archon quest or Chapter 1, which is the Liyue Archon quest, then I suggest you turn away from this video and come back to the video when you have finished the Liyue quest. Sorry, my brain's just not working properly today. I do get this sometimes, so bear with us, but we'll get to it. Yeah, like I said, if you haven't completed the Liyue story quest yet, or the Liyue Archon quest, then I would suggest turning away now and coming back when you have finished it, because this video is going to contain spoilers about the Liyue story quest. So, you have been warned, turn away, you've got 3 seconds. Alright, that's 3 seconds off. Now, moving on with the Liyue story quest. Now, as you know, when we finish speaking with Mondstadt, when we finish speaking with Venti in Mondstadt, aka Barbados, he tells us to come to Liyue so that we can actually carry on with our adventure, or journey, or task, or whatever it is you want to call it, to basically meet Rex Lapis, who is the Geo Archon, which is who controls Liyue, basically. So, we carry on moving about 5 hours of running if you haven't bothered to collect any of the teleportation points, but for me it was ridiculously easy because I did that as soon as the game came out. So yeah, we go all the way to Liyue, and then we get to the Rite of Dissension festival, and when we get there, Rex Lapis descends in his Archon form. Only problem is he's dead. Yeah, Rex Lapis died, so someone must have killed him, and the overseer of the event, aka Ning Guang, who is actually the Tianxian of Liyue. Now, if you don't know what that means, she's basically the president of the president. She's basically the prime minister of the area. She's basically the prime minister of Liyue. Just think of it like that. Yeah. So she's the prime minister of Liyue, and basically she seals off the entire thing, the entire the entire area where the Rite of Dissension did take place, and she basically asks all the guards to stop everyone from leaving because they could be, the suspects of who killed Mr. Rex Lapis. Now, we try to sneak away. No idea why, because that's the most stupid thing we could do. Sneak away from the suspicious area. But nonetheless, we snuck away. We got caught. Yet we didn't get caught. We got caught by them. And then Child comes out of nowhere and rescues us. So, yeah. Child, aka Tartaglia, yeah, Child, him, basically, this dude on the left, he basically, we basically explain our situation to him, and he then tells us that he's a Fatui Harbinger, which is not good, because if you don't know who the Fatui Harbingers are, the Fatui Harbingers are basically like the elite warriors when it comes to the Fatui. Now, if you don't know what the Fatui are basically it's basically the army from Snezhnaya, which isn't actually a region that we have gotten to yet, so that's out of the question. I'm not going to talk about Snezhnaya today. We're talking about Liyue. So, yeah, the Fatui Harbingers come along, and, Child comes along, and we explain the situation to him. We're here to basically see Rex Lapis and all that. He gives us a sigil of permission to go and speak to the Adepti in Julian Cast. Now, the Adepti are basically, they're like prophets. If you're a religious person, or a non-religious person, but you know about the prophets in various religions, the Adepti are basically prophets that have been appointed by Rex Lapis himself to basically protect and guide the people of Liyue. So, yeah, they reside in the mountainous region of Liyue called Julian Cast. Now, Julian Cast is a very, very, well, I've already said it, it's a pretty mountainous region, and we go there in order to speak to the Adepti, or Adeptuses there. Now, there are four or five? I think five? I'd like to say five, yeah. There's Mooncarver, Mountain Shaper. I was going to call him Mountain Retainer or Mountain Climber. Yeah, so Mooncarver, Mountain Shaper, Cloud Retainer, Zhao, and, well, Madam Ping, who we'll get onto later down the line. Now, we meet Mooncarver first, and the soldiers are basically called the Millelith in Liyue, so the soldiers are called the Millelith. So the Millelith basically follow us to Julian Cast, and they try to take us in alive, because they think that we did the bidding of destroying Rex Lapis himself, which of course we could. I mean, we couldn't. We probably could, let's be fair. We are, basically. If you think about it, the Travelers are basically guardians of the entire universe, because they go from universe to universe surveying each one, so technically they must be ridiculously powerful, let's be fair. Of course, it doesn't make sense now that I've said that, because we have lost our powers, but that's more of a theory thing, and I'm not going to go into the theory at all, so yeah. Moving on. We head off to Julian Cast, speak with Mooncarver, who then basically gives us the task of telling all of the other Adeptuses as well. So we tell Mountain Shaper, Cloud Retainer, Zhao, but not Madam Ping, because apparently Madam Ping already knows. So yeah, she either knows or doesn't know. I can't actually remember off the top of my head. Like I said, it's been about 2 months since I've done this. So yeah. Anyway, where was I? Alright, yeah. So we tell the different what are their names? The Adeptuses, and we then go back to Liyue to meet Child again, who has apparently made an appointment with someone very, very, well, high up. And that someone is actually Zhongli, who is my favourite character in the entire game, believe it or not. Yeah, Zhongli is my favourite character in the entire game. Do I have him? I don't. I don't. I cried. I know. It's very sad. So, yeah, I'm more of a Zhongli man than a Child man. So, yeah, sorry, Child supporters, but don't say Child supporters out loud. You'll get in trouble. Anyway, carrying on. Yeah, we go back to Liyue, where Child basically introduces us to Zhongli, who is what is it? He's an overseer. He works for the funeral parlor. Sorry, the Wangshen funeral parlor. He works for the Wangshen funeral parlor. And because the reason we meet Zhongli, why you ask, is because we need to see Rex Lapis, right, before we actually carry on with our journey. And because there's going to be a Rite of Parting festival that actually takes place after Rex Lapis has died, that means we need to basically attend or be a part of the Rite of Rising festival. And hence why Child has introduced us to Zhongli, who is basically preparing the funeral for Rex Lapis. So we meet Zhongli. Zhongli gives us loads of instructions to do, what we have to go and collect, what we have to find and everything. And yeah, Zhongli, how do I explain him? Well, he's a very, very wondrous man. He's a man of many words. He's a man of many mysteries. He's a man of many secrets. And he has the most relaxing voice in the entire game. Honestly, the only character in the entire game whose voice is actually better in English compared to Japanese. Yeah, the only one. So, anyway, back to the story. So we do all these things for, what's his name? Zhongli. Yeah, we do all these things for Zhongli, and then when that happens, he says, as of right now, we can take a bit of a break. He takes us to a restaurant, and basically, when we're there, we hear the story of Ningguang, which has been told by the storyteller there. And he says that Ningguang has a jade palace that's actually... Where is it? It's by the Golden House. Well, as of right now, the Golden House has actually been unlocked. So, it's like above the place where you do the child boss fight in the Golden House. So, yeah, it's basically south? Yeah, south of Liyue. So the Jade Palace is there, and he tells us that the Jade Palace is where many, many biddings go on, and it's basically like Ningguang's house. So yeah, when he tells us the story of Ningguang's house, and once that's over... Excuse me again. Alright, that's the second time it's happened today. The first time was actually in the previous video. So yeah. Anyway, now, an emissary of the Liyue Qixing, her name is Ganyu. Yeah, Coco. Who is currently out right now in the banner, so if you do want to know more about Ganyu, watch some videos and maybe play her in the time trial. But yeah, Ganyu finds us, and she says she's been following us from Juyen Cast. Yeah, she's been spying on us, basically. I really don't like being spied on, but because it's Ganyu, I let her off the hook. So, yeah, she finds us, she says, I've been following you from Juyen Cast. We were about to leg it, but then Ganyu said, I'm not from the Millilith, and I'm not here to collect your bounty. All I'm here to do is present you with a message from the Qianshuan herself. Right? Ningguang, basically. Now, she says that Ningguang would like to see us and discuss matters about what's happened so far. So, once she gives us that message, we, well, the quest basically ends after that, actually. And that's actually it for patch 1.0. But of course, we're in patch 1.2. So, patch 1.1 was the continuation of the Liyue story arc. So, we'll talk about that as well. Now, after that message, we, well, we're supposed to get given directions by Ganyu, but she never does give us directions. So, to the Jade Chamber. So, we make it up there ourselves, and what happens is Ningguang basically meets us. Well, we meet Ningguang, and she tells us of the whole situation of how she knows us, what we're going to do with the rest of our lives. Yeah, how does she know us, you say? Well, Jean, if you don't know, go back to the last video. She's the acting grandmaster of Mondstadt as we speak. Yeah. So Jean and Ningguang have actually been kept in close talk. I was going to say close quarter combat, but then I realized it doesn't make sense. Yeah. So they've been keeping in touch with each other, and yeah, Jean and Ningguang have basically been keeping an eye on us ever since we left Mondstadt and been going to Liyue. Now, of course, we have made a few stopovers towards Liyue, like the Wangshu Inn, but that's not really a major part of the story. I just want to get... I mean, it may be, but like I said, my memory is very faint. So yeah, I just want to get the main parts of the story done and out of the way, so that then I can actually carry on with the playthrough that we're doing. So, yeah. What else? Right, so she's been keeping in touch with Jean, and basically tells us of current affairs and what's going on with Liyue and what's going to happen. So yeah, we basically go on talking about who it may be, what our next plan is, how we're going to stop this fiend, and so on and so forth. Then after that, when we finish our talk with Ningguang, we go back down to Earth, to Liyue, um, to meet Zhongli once again. Now, when we meet Zhongli, we still have a few more ingredients left to collect, like glaze lilies, where we again meet Ganyu. And then Ganyu basically tells us why she's sad about Rex Lapis's parting, who she really is, and then she also then tells us she's half Adeptus, half human. So yeah, half Adeptus. Her Adeptus side is actually Chilin, which is, in real world terms, I believe that's like a deer. Yeah, a deer. Oh, one of the deer species. Yeah. Definitely not like Mooncarver, though. Mooncarver's an antler. So, yeah. No, sorry. What am I saying? Ganyu's not a deer. She's a ram. You know how you have goats? Yeah, there's also a subspecies of goats called rams. Yeah, I think she's a ram because of the way her horns are shaped. So, yeah. Mooncarver, just if you want to know, sidetracking off a bit here, but that's just me. Mooncarver, I believe he's either an antler or a deer. Mountain Shaper, he's actually a crane, if you didn't know. I think he's a crane, because he's quite tall, and he can't be a flamingo because he's not pink, although maybe that might be the case. But I feel as if he's just a bit too short to be a flamingo, so I think he's a crane. And cranes actually have a darker color scheme as well. So yeah, what else is there? Then there's Mountain Carver, who is actually a swan. Mountain Carver is a swan. So yeah, now you know what form the Adeptuses are. Anyway, what else after that? See, this is why I try not to get sidetracked, but I keep forgetting. Anyway, alright. So, Ganyu tells us why she's sad about Rex Lapis dying and all that. And then, we've basically finished, at this point, we've basically finished all the preparations for the Rite of Rising festival. And, yeah, we head back to Liyue, but, the Adeptuses and the Liyue Qixing have a argument or a debate about what, you know, the current situation in Liyue, who should regain control of it, and so on and so forth. So yeah, of course, while that's all happening, Zhongli basically goes back to the funeral parlor and tries to sort things out there because things there are apparently a mess. And while that's happening, we go to the Golden House to basically find the culprit, who is actually Child. So yeah, we get Child, and what we do is we give him a piece of our mind. So we destroy Child in the battle. Well, destroy. I wouldn't say destroy. I mean, I destroyed him, but some of you guys may not have. So yeah, no need to brag or anything, but you know what I'm saying? Alright, carrying on. Yeah, so when we defeat Child, Child then brings out his ultimate secret weapon, which is his delusion. A delusion, if you didn't know, is basically an artificial vision. Yeah, it's artificially made, not directly given by the Archons. Now, if you want to know what visions are and gnosis are, check the last video, I talk about them there. So yeah. We defeat Child with his delusion and blames it on the fact that, you know, his body is not strong enough. So, yeah. Anyway, he brings out his second secret weapon, which is loads of sigils of permission, and he somehow managed to summon Osile, who is the Vortex, Overlord of the Vortex, if you didn't know. So Osile and Rex Lapis were actually enemies many, many moons ago during the Archon War. Will I talk about them? No, because this is not a theory and lore video, so I'm just going to brush past that. So Osile comes along out of the sea, ready to destroy Liyue, and then the Jade Chamber, everyone in the Jade Chamber, including the Adeptuses, Ningguang, who else is there? Keqing, Yeah, everyone, basically, including us. Not everyone, but, you know, the people in the Archon quest. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, we basically fight off Osile. Ningguang sacrifices the Jade Chamber to kill Osile and seal him back underneath the spears of, what's his name? Rex Lapis. So, yeah, when that happens, that's basically, well, that would be it, but of course, there's still more. So we go back to the Northland Bank, which is the Fatui Bank, actually, in Liyue. When we go there, there's a meeting going on between Zhongli, Child, and, what's her name? La Signora. Yeah, La Signora, the, how do I describe her in a polite way? I can't really say that anything that's not meant for the younger audience, because that would get me fired from YouTube. So let's just say she's a very interesting character. Basically, in that very scene, we find out that Zhongli is Rex Lapis, aka Morax, aka the Geo Archon. I mean, to be fair, you could pretty much tell who Zhongli was with his wisdom, the way his character was designed, his eyes. Look at his eyes. I'm sorry, who has golden eyes? Alright? Although, this being an anime RPG, it wouldn't be that far of a far-fetched idea, so I can't really say anything about that. Anyway, Zhongli is Rex Lapis. So, he basically explains to us that he thinks, he wasn't sure whether his time to give up his Archonhood was up, so he decided to put on a test. So, he killed himself, became Zhongli, and then basically gave a test on to see if the humans were basically capable of protecting themselves, and, well, we passed. The final test was basically just killing Osile, and that was it. So, yeah. When that happened, he realized that, yep, my time's up. I best leave it at this. And he struck a deal because, well, Zhongli being the god of contracts, yeah, he basically struck a deal between the Tsaritsa and himself. If the humans could take care of themselves, then I will give my Gnosis to you and resign my Archonhood. Voice crack. Resign my Archonhood. And that happened, and then, yeah, Zhongli is now Gnosisless, if you could call it that. He doesn't have a Gnosis. So, yeah, after that, we basically do the Rite of Rising, Rite of Parting, sorry, Rite of Rising. Rite of Parting, Rite of Rising. It is Rite of Parting, but, you know, you can call it the Rite of Rising if you want. So, well, not really, but, you know. Carrying on. Yeah, we basically... It's called a celebration, but, you know, like, celebration, really? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, we celebrate Zhongli's death, and send him back to wherever he came from. Apologies if that sounds rude, but, you know, it is basically what happened. So yeah, that happens, and then we talk to Zhongli again for a bit, and then he tells us of the next location we should go to, which is Inazuma. Now, that is the region of the Electro Archon, Baal. Now, as of right now, Inazuma is actually sealed off to basically everyone, right? Apart from the Fatui. Because if you didn't know, apparently, from what I've heard, Baal is actually the 5th Fatui Harbinger. At least that's what it says according to the tarot card. So, yeah, Baal is actually a Fatui Harbinger, which is interesting. And, Baal is a female. So, everyone get your simp games on, because things are about to get real. Now, what Baal's name is, well, what people from Inazuma like to call her is, people like to call her Raiden, or Raiden Shogun. Now, if you know about Japanese, history and all that, you'd know that shoguns were basically, they were basically prime ministers of a region. So that basically means that she is the head of that region, effectively. So, yeah. Now, if you want to know more about Inazuma, I won't go too in-depth, but all I know about Inazuma is that it's supposed to take place in Edo period Japan, which, if you didn't know, is actually 1700s, so that's also the Genroku era. The 1700s in Japan was also known as the Genroku era, which is actually when what is it called? When samurais were still a thing, very, very popular as well. I mean, during the Genroku era, the Great War, there was a Great War in Japan. I can't remember what it was, but it was between like many different houses. Two main sides basically, but two different sides of Japan fighting for each other. So yeah, so samurais are going to be a thing in Inazuma. At least that's what I think, because of the setting of Inazuma and the time it's supposed to be set in. So yeah. Anyway, we also know that Baal is actually a female, because Zhongli refers to Baal as a she. So yeah, she's going to be a female. Anyway, that's basically the end of the Liyue chapter. Um, that's basically the end of this video, really. There's nothing else for me to add. Yeah, so after this, now, like I did say in the last video, I wanted to do the character story quests and the event story quests as well, which I probably will do. So, yeah. Um, I'm probably going to do those tomorrow, I don't know, but yeah, I'm going to get those out. I do wish to get all of these stories out on YouTube before patch 1.3, so then I can actually start the proper gameplay of Zhao's story quest and Keqing's story quest, because, again, spoiler alert, if you haven't actually seen the patch 1.3 live stream, it's actually Zhao's banner and, what's it called? Keqing's banner, not Hu Tao, who was actually rumored for a very, very long time. So, yeah. We're going to wait for those two stories and do them together on the channel. And we're also going to do the event quest stories as well on the channel as well. So everything story related, like the Archon quest, the character story quests, and the event quest, they're all going to happen on this channel. So yeah. Anyway, I have been Carvenus14 and still am. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. So, I will see you then. Have a good day, have a good life, and goodbye.